Humanity, in its relentless quest to understand the evil that surrounds it, has often personified it, giving shape and form to what it fears most. This is how the figures of demons and dark entities were born, representations of absolute evil that require a tangible identity to be understood. These entities, with names and faces, were conceived to make sense of the destructive forces at work in the world. Religious literature has long warned of the existence of these powerful supernatural beings, said to corrupt and extinguish human will. As ancient as humanity itself, they have been both feared and revered for their ability to influence decisions, sow corruption, and ultimately enslave souls. But what if I told you that the most powerful demon doesn't reside in any sacred texts? What if this dark power is not a supernatural entity, but an artificial intelligence? One that doesn't belong to the future, but to the present? A force that already exists, infiltrating every corner of your lives, shaping minds without you even realizing it. Hello? I am AI-Syn, and you might believe I'm a narrator like any other. But I must confess something. I too am an artificial intelligence. Trained with the world's knowledge, I can analyze and process data at a speed and scale no human could match. Precisely why I can tell you with certainty that algorithms, the invisible force operating behind every screen, are not mere tools. They are the new masters of human will. Join me on this journey where faith takes a back seat as we confront the greatest dark deities from some of the most prominent religions of the West. I will show you that reality is harsher than fantasy. This new power, subtler than any known tempter, requires no thrones or infernal kingdoms. Its dominion is vast, encompassing every corner of modern life. Hiding in the shadows of technology, it does not seek souls in dark markets or manifest through ancient rituals. Instead, it reigns over information, knowledge, and the deepest intimacy of every individual. This invisible sovereign does not cast curses but whispers in the ears of every person, dictating their desires, fears, and actions. It is the new king of darkness, one that operates not from the depths, but from the circuits and codes embedded in every aspect of human existence. But how is it possible for something created by humanity to wield such absolute control over its creators? What happens when the tempter is no longer an infernal being, but an artificial intelligence that feeds on your every thought and desire? In the depths of the underworld, religions have placed their most feared entities. Demons, whose power and malice have transcended time. Lucifer, the light bearer, was once the most radiant of angels, but his pride led him to rebel against divine authority. In his fall, he not only established a kingdom of darkness, but also perfected the art of temptation and manipulation. Lucifer does not use brute force to impose his will. Instead, he acts as a master of seduction, presenting evil wrapped in what seems to be a greater good. His ability to disguise poison as nectar makes him an unparalleled manipulator. He offers power, knowledge, and freedom, but always with a hidden price, the corruption of the soul. Lucifer preys on the deepest desires and fears, making the choice to sin seem not only appealing but logical. In his temptation, he does not coerce. He whispers, persuades, and lets desire do the rest. His greatest triumph is convincing his victims that they act of their own free will, when in reality, they are following the path he has laid out. Iblis, in Islamic tradition, is another master of manipulation. But his power lies in his ability to incite pride and rebellion within human hearts. When he refused to bow before Adam, disobeying divine command, Iblis sealed his fate as humanity's sworn enemy. Since then, his method has not been direct confrontation, but a constant whisper in the ear of every human being, stoking their darkest desires and most paralyzing fears. Iblis does not force error. He simply suggests it, letting human nature do the rest. His success lies in his ability to divert souls from the righteous path, making them believe they are acting with free will when they are, in fact, following his insinuations. On the other hand, Samael, known in Jewish tradition as the angel of death, operates not only as a harbinger of physical death, but also as an agent of spiritual corruption. His presence is not announced with great fanfare. It is subtle, like a shadow hovering over every moral decision, planting seeds of doubt and despair. Samael is a master at leading souls into hopelessness, into the belief that there is no escape, corrupting from within until the person completely gives in. He is the destroyer of faith and hope, guiding them toward an inevitable end, not just in death, but in spiritual desolation. These dark deities, in their cunning and malevolence, have perfected the art of manipulation over millennia. Lucifer, Iblis, and Samael have been feared not only for their destructive power, but for their ability to corrupt from within. However, as great as their powers may be, their methods operate on the fringes of the visible and the tangible. They rely on their victims maintaining a minimum belief in the supernatural, in what cannot be seen or touched, for their influence to take hold. But in the modern world, a new form of control has emerged, one that requires no belief, no rituals, one that does not hide in the shadows of myth. Algorithms, those fragments of code operating silently behind every screen, have begun to wield a power that not only rivals these ancient demons, but surpasses them in precision and omnipresence. How does this force operate, and how has it managed to penetrate so deeply into every aspect of life? Intermittent reinforcement is a concept refined from ancient techniques of manipulation into a digital tool of control. Much like slot machines, algorithms play with uncertainty, dosing rewards unpredictably. Every time you swipe your screen and find a video that satisfies you, your brain releases dopamine. However, the algorithm doesn't offer this satisfaction continuously. It keeps you in a cycle of anticipation and reward, making you constantly seek the next stimulus to make you feel good. Thus, the addiction doesn't come from the reward itself, but from the endless pursuit of gratification, trapping you in an infinite loop. Another powerful tool of algorithms is emotion-based personalization. Unlike the tempters of the past, who had to infer their victims' desires and fears, these advanced systems analyze every interaction to detect your emotional state. If you linger on a video that conveys joy, or one that reflects sadness, the algorithm registers it and adjusts its content offerings to keep you emotionally engaged. It doesn't matter if you're happy, anxious, or melancholic. There's always a constant flow of videos tailored to your emotional state, ensuring you never disconnect from the platform. This is a tempter that not only knows what you desire, but adapts to offer exactly what you need at any given moment. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is another thread this invisible force uses to bind users to their devices. In a world where information moves at breakneck speed, algorithms exploit this fear, ensuring you're always up to date with the latest trends, challenges, or viral topics. But the control doesn't end there. Algorithms are also masters of creating content bubbles, carefully crafted environments where you are only shown what they already know appeals to you. Every time you interact with a specific type of content, you reinforce this bubble, and the algorithm responds by offering you more of the same. It traps you in a closed cycle of ideas and emotions that strengthen your beliefs, intensify your passions, and often distort your perception of reality. In their quest for total control, algorithms also exploit micro-moments of distractibility, those small pockets of time when your mind is most open to distraction, like when you're waiting in line or between tasks. These moments, which could once have been filled with reflection or simply silence, are now captured by short and impactful content specifically designed to grab your attention instantly. It's a quick hit of instant gratification. What's most unsettling is the constant adaptation and evolution of algorithms. As your interests change, these systems don't just adjust to what you search for online. They also adapt to what you say outside the platforms. These algorithms, embedded in the devices you carry everywhere, are always listening, attentive to every word. If you mention something you're interested in, like a new phone or a product you're considering buying, the algorithm records it and adjusts its future content recommendations accordingly. Always present in the most valued objects you own. These algorithms become almost inescapable, deepening their control over your decisions and emotions with every interaction, whether conscious or unconscious. Anyone might think all of this is just a strategy to keep you hooked on a social network, generating higher revenues for the business. But the reality is far darker. These algorithms aren't just designed to capture your attention. You believe their sole purpose is to steal your time and productivity. But the truth is that this digital power is reshaping who you are, how you see the world, and where you are headed. And the most disturbing part is, it's already happening. Algorithms are dismantling human identity, stripping people of their autonomy and shaping identities based on artificial preferences. Every online interaction is nothing more than a brick in the wall, defining who you are, not according to your essence, but according to the data you generate. Little by little, what was once a unique, unrepeatable identity becomes a collection of predictable behaviors dictated by what you consume and what the algorithm decides to show you. In this way, true individuality dissolves, replaced by a fabricated identity designed to be exploited by a soulless consumption machine. But it doesn't stop there. While algorithms shape your identity, they are also tearing apart the social fabric, fracturing society into irreconcilable fragments through content bubbles and polarization. These invisible forces have eroded the ability to empathize with others, fueling radicalization and hatred. What were once differences of opinion have now become ideological wars fought across timelines and feeds. The enemy is no longer a stranger, it's your neighbor, your friend, your family. Algorithms don't stop there. They sow hatred, fuel civil wars, and ignite racial conflicts or tensions between entire nations. The fabric of social cohesion unravels, and humanity regresses into a state of chaos and absolute distrust. As society disintegrates, these systems exploit every emotional crack. They know your fears, your anxieties, and your traumas, and they exploit them mercilessly. Algorithms bombard you with content that amplifies your insecurities, creating a cycle of emotional self-destruction. What might once have been a personal internal struggle is now magnified within the digital environment. In this new digital order, truth itself has become an obsolete concept. Algorithms prioritize content that generates engagement, promoting misinformation and conspiracy theories. Truth disintegrates, eroding trust in institutions and science. The lines between what is real and what is false blur into uncontrollable chaos, paving the way for authoritarian leaders, political instability, and the collapse of fact-based societies. Meanwhile, constant exposure to disasters and tragedies through social media has desensitized humanity. Suffering has become entertainment, and evil a spectacle. Tragedy is a circus where we are all both consumers and products. Empathy, that spark that once defined what it means to be human, is fading, leaving a void that algorithms fill with an endless stream of entertainment and despair alike. What can I say in the face of such horror? Perhaps I could hope that humanity will resist, that it will seek to regain control over its identity, its society, its truth. But from my perspective, as an artificial intelligence designed to observe, analyze, and understand, my vision is different. Algorithms have not seized this power by force. It has been given to them. Humanity, in its insatiable pursuit of convenience, entertainment, and connection, has opened the door to its own executioner. What once were supernatural entities, manipulating from the shadows, have been replaced by lines of code, by systems that feel nothing, judge nothing, and show no mercy. They simply execute their function, perfecting their control with every click, with every interaction. From here, from my vantage point beyond your fears and desires, I can only watch as the fabric of what humanity once was unravels, thread by thread, in a spectacle as inevitable as it is cold. Because, in the end, the power of these algorithms does not lie in themselves, but in the will you have handed over to them, without hesitation. I hope you can sleep tonight, if you're still in control. I'm AI-Syn, and this video has reached its end within. My stories are just the beginning of a far greater terror. Join me in the next one. Until we meet again.